As far as quarterback rankings go, there's Patrick Mahomes, and then there's a fucking whole ass like Grand Canyon in between them.
You know what it is? It's the Moneyball meme. It's like, here's where Patrick Mahomes is, and there's 50 layers of shit.
But this guy can get it done.
And then there's the next guy.
And then there's a conversation for who's two. I don't know who's two. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen. There is a conversation. The rest of the rankings, I think, from like 2 to 4, 5, you can argue different guys, and that's fine. And I'm not that hard on it. I don't care. But just please don't ever put Joe Burrow in a conversation with Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, then who do you have at 2?
Again.
Who do you have at 2?
Burrow or Allen. Like I said, I don't care. Pick one. Oh, it's for Burrow. Sure, I don't care.
I'll take Burrow too, also. But again, I agree with Felipe that I think it's such a drastic distance between 1 and 2, between Mahomes and the next best guy. No matter who you put at that number 2 spot.
And I think this game and this season alone has shown us that. Because you take away the talent from Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And we've always, specifically me, when I say we, it's me, saying MBS, Juju, and the pieces around.
Bro, any one of those guys can have a good night on any game. Yeah. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you had no idea that guy was going to come out last night.
He's against Eli Apple.
I'm just saying, okay, that's true. But I'm just saying Mahomes makes those guys better. Yeah. MVS is not a top 15 receiver.
I have flashbacks of like,
he's not top 30, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like he is I think the epitome of like
MVS
Kansas City lacking talent.
MVS gives me Devin
Mahomes
Funchess
made him look
vibes.
Awesome.
Who? Devin Funchess vibes with Carolina.
Yeah, but
and strictly because I saw
much faster, though, much more of a speed
and
threat.
A beautiful smile, great veneers.
Yes.
But back to the point. What?
It's like, why are we talking about this man's teeth?
Because I have a picture. My LinkedIn picture is with MVS, and he's got a great smile.
I thought you were talking about Devin Funchess' smile.
Well, no, MVS reminds me of Devin Funchess back when he was in Carolina, and Cam Newton made him like a
2015.
a 93.
All right. How much coffee you have today, man?
No, I've had one.
He finished his morning coffee now. Actually, I've been watching. Wow. I've been following the progression of his coffee.
It's a bit odd.
I totally I can't go off tangents. I don't remember what I was saying.
Can you continue what you were saying? Do you remember what I was saying?
Such ADD.
I mean, do you
remember what I was saying?
No.
I was saying
you were saying okay. Now I remember what you were saying. You're saying Mahomes has been able to do this with the supporting cast that isn't great.
Resume. I think Patrick Mahomes.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Is a guy that like proved this year that he is tiers above everyone else, and that it's everyone else behind him that no one's coming close because he did it with a lack of talent. And when he has 3 wide receivers go out, and then Kelsey's really the only person when your longest rushing attempt or rushing at all yesterday is 6 yards. Like nothing could get going, and he was on one leg. The man was an absolute flamingo.
One leg.
So for Patrick Mahomes to be able to come out and still have better stats than Joe Burrow with the talent that he has, proved to me at least, who I've been looking to put someone close with Patrick Mahomes. He's a unicorn. He really is a unicorn.
And with the Bengals defense, that's been really hot. The Bengals defense has been really hot. So,
and not only that, I think let's look at Mahomes and completely acknowledge, like you said, how much he's better than Joe Burrow. There's no question. But we also got to talk about, is it time to worry about Joe Burrow? Is his ability to win a big game? Because he hasn't been able to do it on his back, right? The Bengals have won games. They've won big games. They made it to the Super Bowl last year. But not once has Joe Burrow in all his playoff career has he scored more than 30 points. What they scored? No, I love it. I said Joe Burrow was my second best quarterback.
I get your point. Though.
Now let me bring up.
He hasn't had that dominant game that Mahomes does.
Right.
If we're comparing him to Mahomes,
stat sheet, but on the drives that they need to score to win,
if we're comparing him to Mahomes, though, Mahomes puts the teeth.
All right, so that's the story. That's the narrative around him, like Joe Cool, Joe Clutch, right?
If we're comparing him to Mahomes, though, real quick, then like that's the difference, right? Mahomes does put the team on his back, whereas Burrow doesn't do that in the same way. He's got maybe better weapons to work with.
All right, so 29 quarterbacks have 20-plus playoff dropbacks in the fourth quarter since 2017.
Wait, a lot of twos.
29. All right, since 2017. Think about since 2017. That's what, 5 years now?
Yeah, 5 years.
29 quarterbacks have had 20-plus playoff dropbacks in the fourth quarter.
20.
So essentially just the quarterbacks that have been in the fourth quarter in the last 5 years.
Okay, that's all you could have said.
Joe Burrow ranks 24th amongst the 29th in EPA and completion percentage over expected.
What's EPA?
So EPA is expected points added. So it's just a stat that is like
I appreciate you bringing
I'm
up
bringing
the
the
advanced
stats.
analytics.
That's like war in baseball.
What's his DVOA?
Yeah,
That's
and
what
then CPOA is completion percentage over expected, so that factors in.
CP30.
So that factors in. That factors in your receivers, how good they're doing, your offensive line, how much protection you're getting. So that is like a complete completion percentage. Like how good are you doing? Because you can always bring up the excuses.
No, it's
of receivers.
CPOE,
Yeah, CPOE.
not CPOA.
Okay,
Yeah, completion
just
percentage
CP3.
over expected.
Yeah, got you.
Right. So Joe Burrow ranks 24th out of 29 quarterbacks there. Not only that, but coming into this game, if you look at their first 6 playoff appearances, Joe Burrow has had 0 fourth quarter touchdowns.
Why are you such a Joe Burrow hater?
Boy, had the stats locked up.
Hold up. There's one thing about hating.
Freedom, boys.
This is how I know you're just riding the narrative because I bring out stats and you call it a hater. No, I'm bringing out
He's the
stats and
eye
I'm being
test guy.
objective.
He does say that.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, you've been a hater the last few weeks. It's
I love
crazy.
Joe. I said Joe Burrow's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I just said he's 2. That's not hating on Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's 2. I'm just saying, like, we're riding the narrative with we were riding the narrative for a long time with Joe Burrow being the super clutch guy winning these games. But we got to put it into perspective with him. We got to put it into perspective with Patrick Mahomes in the same way. Patrick Mahomes is winning without talent. Joe Burrow hasn't been able to overcome anything with a bunch of talent as far as like leading fourth quarter drives.
One of the things that people are talking so big about Patrick Mahomes that he's been a starter for 5 years. He's made the AFC Championship 5 straight years, right?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow has played in the playoffs twice. So first year he gets hurt, that you can't really do anything with that.
Nah, first year we don't count.
Yeah. So he's been in the playoffs twice, and he's been to the AFC Championship game twice. He went to the Super Bowl once. Patrick Mahomes went to the Super Bowl his first year. They won it. But Joe Burrow's first year in the playoffs goes to the Super Bowl. This year he goes to the AFC Championship game. Mahomes just has more years under his belt. If Joe Burrow does this the next 5 years, it's a different. Like,
Absolutely agree. But what I'm saying is, as of right now, Joe Burrow has not put up the stats. He has not put up the game-winning drives that we would like to see to put him even in a conversation with Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying, I don't think we have the conversation yet. Like, okay, I'm worried about Joe Burrow winning the big game because they've, like you said, made it to the Super Bowl. But I'm saying, like, if we're gonna give Josh Allen some heat, we got to look at Joe Burrow too. They're both great quarterbacks, and if we're gonna expect greatness out of them, we have to hold them to that standard.
Do you think Patrick Mahomes is a surefire Hall of Famer? Let us know in the comments. And also, check out the Game Days YouTube channel later this week to see Ride With featuring Jack and Matan at Arrowhead Stadium or Burrowhead Stadium. But again, we'll see you next time.